The year was 2525. Earth was a place of unparalleled technological marvels, where once fanciful concepts like time travel and interstellar communication had become reality. Among these advancements, Capsule was one of humanity's most celebrated achievements. Capsule allowed individuals to send messages, memories, and even physical objects back to their past selves. It was hailed as the ultimate tool for personal growth, a chance to inspire, warn, or guide one's younger self using the wisdom of hindsight. The capsules were encrypted to ensure privacy, appearing only in a secure, designated location, accessible solely by the intended recipient. The system had been used by billions without a single recorded error, until now. In a sleek, glass-walled laboratory overlooking a bustling megacity, Dr. Lila Carter adjusted her holographic workstation. The city hummed with life outside, its flying vehicles weaving between towering spires, but Lila's focus was elsewhere. She was turning 25 today, a milestone she hadn't expected to feel so bittersweet. Despite her accolades as a young scientist in Chronotech Corporation, she felt a lingering emptiness, a sense of isolation she couldn't quite shake. "I need to remind myself where I came from," she muttered, opening the Capsule interface. The holographic interface glowed softly as she prepared her capsule. She chose a selection of childhood photos, a simple pendant she had treasured as a teenager, and a heartfelt letter addressed to her 15-year-old self. "Dear Lila, I know you feel out of place right now. I know you think the world is too big and your place in it is too small. But trust me, you will find your way. You are stronger and more capable than you realize. Never stop dreaming. Never stop believing in yourself. Love, your future self." Satisfied, she sealed the capsule and set the timeline coordinates, 2515, her childhood hometown. With a soft hum, the Capsule glowed blue and disappeared into the time stream. Unbeknownst to Lila, the city's power grid was experiencing a rare fluctuation. Just as her capsule entered the quantum stream, a surge disrupted its trajectory. Instead of arriving in 2515, the capsule veered off course, hurtling through an unstable temporal fold. When it finally materialized, it wasn't on Earth, or even in Lila's timeline. Across the galaxy, on the distant planet Ilaris, the skies shimmered with iridescent hues as two moons hung low on the horizon. The planet's surface was a tapestry of crystalline forests and glowing rivers, teeming with life both alien and familiar. In the heart of a sprawling city of bioluminescent spires, Kael, a curious young Ellerin, wandered through the sky vault, a place where mysterious objects from across the cosmos were collected. Kael was unlike the other Ellerin, who valued logic and order above all else. He had a fascination with the unknown, often sneaking into the sky vault to study its relics. As he explored the vault's labyrinthine corridors, a sudden flash of light caught his attention. A small metallic capsule had appeared in an empty alcove, its surface etched with symbols that glowed faintly blue. Kael approached cautiously, his turquoise skin glimmering in the soft light. "What is this?" he murmured, his large almond-shaped eyes reflecting the capsule's glow. Activating his translator, he deciphered the capsule's inscription. "For Lila Carter, 2515. "Lila Carter," Kael repeated, testing the unfamiliar sounds. With trembling fingers, he opened the capsule. Inside, he found photos of a young human girl, a silver pendant, and a letter. The photos captivated him, the vibrant expressions, the vivid landscapes of Earth, so different from the ordered perfection of Ilaris. As he read the letter, Kael felt an unexpected connection to this mysterious human. Her words resonated with his own feelings of restlessness and longing for something more. Kael's fascination with the capsule grew. Using advanced Ilarin technology, he accessed its hidden communication feature, discovering that he could send a message back along the same temporal stream. "Lila Carter," he said into the interface, his voice trembling with excitement. "I don't know if this will reach you, but I found your capsule. I am Kael of Ilaris. Your words, they moved me." When Lila received Kael's message the next morning, she was stunned. At first, she thought it was a prank or a system error, but as she listened to his earnest words and saw his shimmering turquoise face on the holographic display, she realized this was something far stranger and far more extraordinary. Lila sat at her workstation, staring at the holographic projection of Kael's message. His turquoise skin shimmered faintly. His large almond-shaped eyes filled with curiosity as he introduced himself. "Who are you?" she whispered to the empty lab. "And how did you get my capsule?" Deciding to respond, she activated the chronocapsule's interface, her hands trembling as she typed. "Kael of Elaris, this is Dr. Lila Carter from Earth. The capsule wasn't meant for you. It was supposed to go to my past self. I don't know how this happened, but thank you for contacting me. Who are you, and where are you?" Her message vanished into the time stream, leaving her heart racing. Minutes later, a new message appeared. Kael's face reappeared, glowing with excitement. "You are from Earth. The stories of your kind are rare here. I found your capsule in the Sky Vault, where strange objects sometimes appear. Your words, they felt like my own thoughts. I had to reach out." Their tentative communication grew into regular exchanges. Kael asked about Earth's history, its people, and its vibrant culture, while Lila marveled at Kael's descriptions of Elaris, its crystalline forests, its bioluminescent cities, and its highly logical, harmonious society. Over weeks, Lila and Kael grew closer, their friendship bridging time and space. They shared stories of their struggles, Lila's struggles. She opened up about her isolation, her insecurities as a child, and her fear of failure despite her achievements. Kael's struggles. He described feeling out of place among the Elarin, who valued logic above all else. Kael's fascination with creativity and the unknown made him an outlier in his society. "You humans," Kael said in one message, "you are chaotic, emotional, and unpredictable. Yet, I find it beautiful." Lila laughed. "And you Elarin sound like perfectionists. But perfection can be lonely, can't it?" Their exchanges became a lifeline for both. Lila began to see her struggles through Kael's eyes, while Kael found inspiration in Lila's resilience. The more they communicated, the more they began to notice strange changes in their respective worlds. On Earth, Lila started seeing discrepancies in historical records, artifacts and cultural references she didn't recognize. A popular book she had grown up with, The Starry Myth, now included references to glowing, logical beings who bore a striking resemblance to Kael's species. On Elaris, Kael noticed shifts in Elarin behavior. His peers began experimenting with creativity, painting, composing music, and even storytelling, something unheard of in their rigid society. "Kael, I think we're causing this," Lila said one day, staring at her holographic display. "Our messages are creating ripples. We're changing things." Kael's expression grew serious. "If that's true, what will happen to our worlds?" Neither had an answer. One evening, Lila's chronocapsule system began flashing a red warning. The screen displayed an urgent message. "Temporal anomaly detected. Unauthorized communication detected in stream." Panic gripped her. The chronocapsule network, regulated by an advanced AI called Tempra, was designed to prevent temporal disruptions. If it identified her glitch, it could erase the connection, and possibly Kael's timeline altogether. Desperate, Lila bypassed the system's restrictions, hiding her communications with Kael. She knew the risk, but couldn't bear to lose the only person who truly understood her. Meanwhile, Kael's exchanges with Lila didn't go unnoticed on Elaris. The Elarin High Council, a governing body of strict logical minds, summoned him to explain his unauthorized use of the Sky Vault's technology. "You have allowed an emotional influence to cloud your judgment," the council leader said, her voice cold. "This human, this Lila, is disrupting our way of life." Kael stood firm. "She has shown me another way of thinking, a way that could enrich us." "You have violated our principles," the leader replied. Your actions threaten the stability of our society. Cease all contact or face exile. Kael returned home, torn between his loyalty to his people and his growing bond with Lila. Despite the growing tension, Kael and Lila continued communicating. One day, Kael uncovered an ancient Ilarin artifact in the sky vault, a small orb inscribed with symbols resembling Earth's earliest languages. "Lila," he said, showing her the artifact during a transmission. This might prove that our species were connected before. What if our timelines have crossed before now?" Lila's heart raced. If that's true, it changes everything. We're not just talking across time. We're rediscovering a lost connection. Their discovery added urgency to their mission. They needed to stabilize their temporal link before it collapsed, or was forcibly severed. Realizing that tempera might erase Kael's timeline to correct the anomaly, Lila dove into her research, seeking a way to stabilize their connection. She hacked into Capsule's core system, risking her career and freedom. Her breakthroughs came at a cost: sleepless nights, relentless pressure, and the growing fear that she might fail. Kael's messages became her anchor. "You inspire me," Kael said in one transmission. "Your resilience, your passion, it's unlike anything I've known." "You've taught me just as much," Lila replied. "I won't let them erase you, Kael. I promise." On Ilaris, Kael defied the Council's orders, enlisting a small group of like-minded Ilarin to help him uncover more artifacts in the Sky Vault. They discovered evidence of ancient human-Ilarin interactions, including shared myths and symbols, suggesting a deeper connection. "This is proof," Kael said to his friends. "We are not so different from them." The rebellion sparked unrest in Ilarin society, as more citizens began questioning their rigid ways. With time running out, Lila and Kael coordinated one last effort to stabilize the link. They combined human ingenuity and Ilarin technology, creating a device capable of bridging their timelines permanently. As the device activated, the Capsule network detected the unauthorized transmission. Tempera issued a final warning. "Connection will be severed in 60 seconds. "Kael, we have to finish this now," Lila shouted, her voice trembling. "I'm with you," Kael replied, his glowing hands activating the device on his end. Lila's lab was bathed in flickering red light as the countdown from Tempera echoed through the speakers. "Connection will be severed in 60 seconds. Sweat dripped down Lila's brow as her fingers flew across the holographic interface. On the other end of the transmission, Kael stood in the glowing sky vault, surrounded by Ilarin artifacts and his makeshift stabilization device. "Lila," Kael said, his voice calm despite the urgency. "Even if this doesn't work, I'm grateful for everything you've shown me. I feel alive." "Don't say goodbye yet," Lila snapped, her voice trembling. "We're not giving up." The device hummed louder as the two worked in unison, syncing their respective technologies. "Connection will be severed in 30 seconds. The air in Lila's lab grew heavy as the device on her end glowed brightly. Kael's image flickered on the hologram, and for a heart-stopping moment, Lila thought she had lost him. "Kael," she whispered. "I'm here," his voice replied, faint but steady. "Connection will be severed in 10 seconds. The device emitted a blinding pulse of light, and the countdown stopped abruptly. Tempera's voice cut out, replaced by a soothing hum. "Lila," Kael said, his face now clear on the hologram. "We did it." Tears welled in Lila's eyes as she let out a shaky laugh. "We stabilized the bridge. It worked." With the timeline stabilized, Lila and Kael found themselves at the forefront of an unprecedented moment in history. The bridge they had created not only allowed their continued communication, but also facilitated a mutual exchange of knowledge between Earth and Ilaris. Kael's world began adopting human concepts like storytelling, creativity, and emotional expression, sparking a cultural revolution. Meanwhile, Earth scientists studied Ilarin technology, leading to breakthroughs in clean energy and advanced medicine. But it wasn't just science and culture that thrived. It was the personal connection between Lila and Kael that became the story's heart. One evening, Kael transmitted an image of a newly uncovered artifact from the sky vault. It was a circular object etched with symbols that matched ancient Earth glyphs. "Lila," Kael said, his voice tinged with awe. "This artifact predates our recorded history. It suggests that humans and Ilarians interacted millennia ago. Perhaps our connection isn't a coincidence." Lila stared at the artifact in disbelief. "Do you think our ancestors shared this knowledge, that our worlds were linked before?" "I believe it," Kael replied. "This glitch wasn't just a random accident. It was destiny." Kael's rebellion didn't go unnoticed. The Ilarin High Council convened to discuss the implications of the human-Ilarin bridge. At first, they were resistant, fearing that Earth's chaotic influence would destabilize their society. But Kael, armed with evidence from the Sky Vault and supported by a growing number of Ilarins who embraced creativity, made a compelling case. "Logic has served us well," Kael argued before the council. "But creativity and emotion, these human traits, are not weaknesses. They are strengths. By understanding them, we can grow." After much deliberation, the council agreed to allow the bridge to remain open, marking the beginning of a historic alliance between the two worlds. The connection between Earth and Ilaris brought about a cascade of changes, both subtle and transformative. Using quantum stabilizers inspired by Ilarin tech, Earth developed near-infinite clean energy sources, drastically reducing reliance on fossil fuels and solving long-standing environmental crises. With Kael's guidance, researchers developed bioadaptive treatments that allowed for near-instant healing of severe injuries and diseases. Clinics across Earth adopted these methods, leading to a surge in global health standards. Inspired by the Capsule, Earth scientists built devices that allowed instantaneous communication across vast distances, revolutionizing diplomacy and commerce. Inspired by Ilarin methods, Earth introduced creative and logical thinking courses in schools, helping students balance imagination with structured problem-solving. Artists, writers, and filmmakers drew inspiration from Ilarin bioluminescence, creating works that blended human and alien aesthetics. The trend of glowing interactive art installations became a global phenomenon. Historians uncovered myths and legends that seemed to hint at past interactions with Ilarins, leading to renewed interest in Earth's ancient mysteries. The once dismissed stories of sky people were now studied as potential early encounters with Kael's ancestors. The ripples were just as profound on Ilaris, where humanity's influence sparked a cultural and societal revolution. Ilarins, who had long lived by the principles of logic and structure, found themselves embracing creativity for the first time. Bioluminescent paintings and glowing symphonies became popular, with Kael spearheading the movement. Ilarin children, once taught strict logical disciplines, were now encouraged to explore imaginative pursuits. Inspired by Lila's tales of Earth's history and fiction, storytelling became a revered art form. Ilarin stories often blended fact with speculative elements, creating narratives that captured the imagination of their people. Ilarins began hosting annual celebrations where they showcased glowing displays of art, dance, and music. These festivals became symbolic of their newfound appreciation for self-expression. The Ilarins had always excelled at science and engineering, but their rigid methods often stifled innovation. With human influence, they began exploring less conventional approaches. Research centers now combined logical problem-solving with creative brainstorming sessions, leading to unprecedented advancements in fields like interdimensional travel and bioengineering. Inspired by Lila's description of human empathy, Ilarin scientists developed artificial intelligence capable of understanding and mimicking emotions. These AI systems became invaluable in diplomacy and social planning. Kael, once seen as an outlier in his society, became a leader of the cultural revolution on Ilaris. His courage to embrace human concepts earned him admiration and respect. Kael was officially named the first cultural ambassador of Ilaris, tasked with maintaining and fostering the connection with Earth. He established programs to teach Ilarin youth about creativity, storytelling, and emotional intelligence. His initiatives became the foundation of a more balanced, compassionate society. For Lila, the experience of connecting with Kael and stabilizing the timeline changed her life in profound ways. Once a reserved and overlooked scientist, Lila became a celebrated figure, heralded as the bridge builder for her role in forging the connection between Earth and Ilaris. No longer burdened by loneliness, she found fulfillment in her work and relationships, inspired by Kael's friendship and their shared accomplishments. With the stabilization of the bridge, Earth and Ilaris entered a new era of collaboration. Joint ventures between human and Ilaran scientists tackled challenges like climate change, interstellar travel, and universal education. People from both worlds began visiting each other's planets, exchanging ideas, traditions, and languages. These exchanges enriched both societies, fostering mutual understanding and respect. Archaeologists and historians worked together to uncover the truth behind the ancient connection between Earth and Ilaris. The Sky Vault revealed dozens of objects with Earth origins, suggesting that the two civilizations had interacted long before recorded history. Myths and legends from both worlds were pieced together, revealing tales of travelers who bridged the stars, leaving behind a legacy of shared knowledge. A year after the bridge was stabilized, the first human-Ilaran summit was held on Ilaris, marking the beginning of a formal alliance. When Lila stepped onto the shimmering surface of Ilaris, she was overwhelmed by its beauty. The bioluminescent spires glowed softly against the night sky, and the streets were alive with color and sound. Kael greeted her at the edge of the Sky Vault, his turquoise skin glowing with warmth. "You've brought your world to mine," he said, smiling, "and now we'll bring them together." The summit culminated in the signing of the Interdimensional Alliance Treaty, a promise to collaborate in science, culture, and diplomacy. Leaders from both worlds spoke about the importance of unity and the lessons learned from their shared journey. As time passed, the story of the glitch became a symbol of hope and connection. It reminded both humans and Ilarans that even the smallest, most unexpected events could have profound impacts on the universe. The story of Lila and Kael inspired countless books, films, and art pieces on both worlds, celebrating their friendship and the bridge they built. With their timelines now intertwined, Earth and Ilaris continued to grow together, proving that differences could be strengths and that connection was the key to progress. Lila and Kael's friendship endured, becoming a cornerstone of the alliance. Though separated by time and space, their bond remained unshakable, a testament to the power of understanding and the magic of a chance connection. On one quiet evening, as Lila watched the stars from her balcony, she received a holographic message from Kael. It was a simple phrase, but it spoke volumes. "We are all connected.